All right, good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the June 25th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting for the City of Walnut Creek. We would like to make sure everyone understands that this notice of teleconference meeting is pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order N29-20 dated March 17th, 2020. Commissioners may participate via teleconference. Conference locations are not open to the public pursuant to California Executive Code Order N29-20. Based on that, we'll go ahead and ask the Commission Secretary to call for roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Pickett?
Here.
Commissioner Strongman?
Here.
Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Ward?
Here.
Commissioner Reiser?
Here.
Vice Chair Kerselik?
Here.
And Chair Lezak.
I'm here.
All 7 members are present. We may conduct business.
Okay, thank you, Commission Secretary. Based on that, we'll go ahead and move to the next item on the agenda, which is the consent calendar. Does the Commission Secretary have any items on the consent calendar? There are none on my agenda.
There are no consent items on the agenda. You're correct.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on with the agenda to the public communications section. Public communications are intended for public testimony that are for items that are not on the items agenda on the current agenda. And so we asked Commissioner Secretary, do you have anyone from the public who would wish to make public comment on the during the public communications section?
Mr. Chair, there are no members on the attendee list that have indicated an interest in making public comments. So at this time, we do not have any members for public communications.
Okay, well, with your acceptance, we'll go ahead and move on to the public hearings section. The public hearings section 4A. The first item on the public hearings agenda tonight is the 2 Left Feet Dance Studio, which is a conditional use permit CUP application number Y20-035 for address 1651 Botello Drive, APN 1-848-080-034.
Ex parte communications. Mr. Chair, if we have any ex parte communications among members of the commission, now might be a good time to identify.
I see no commissioners stepping forward with ex parte communications references. We'll go ahead and move forward with the staff report. Thank you.
Can I have the presentation loaded so I can start? Okay. Good evening, commissioners. For the record, my name is Simmer Gill. I am an assistant planner with the City of Walnut Creek, and we are here tonight to discuss the proposed conditional use permit application for a dance studio, which is a personal improvement service use located in the Palm Court Shopping Center at 1651 Botello Drive. The applicants, Tim Willett and Randy Kroll, are here tonight, as am I, to answer any questions you may have after the presentation. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. The Palm Court Shopping Center is located at the corner of Botello Drive and South California Boulevard. The center consists of 3 buildings with individual tenant spaces. There are 2 single-story buildings and 1 2-story building, which could be seen on this bottom picture to your far right of the shopping center. And There is a mix of uses consisting of offices, small retailers, personal services. There's the Petco store, and there's also a yoga studio in the shopping center. And the surrounding area consists of retail and office uses. And the Ivy Hill apartment complex is located across the street to the north. Similar dance studio, Arthur Murray, is located at around the corner at 1536 Newell Avenue in the Newell Promenade Shopping Center. Next slide, please. The dance studio will occupy a vacant tenant space in the single-story building located in the middle of the site, as you can see on the site plan and also on this photograph. The existing tenant space is a vacant shell. The interior will be improved with a reception area and a restroom, and the rest of the space will be an open area where dance classes will be conducted. There are no exterior improvements or expansion to the footprint as proposed as part of this application. The mixed-use commercial emphasis encourages the combination of commercial and residential uses within the core area, with retail and office uses being the primary use on the ground floor. Therefore, a personal improvement service use located in a single-story building on the ground floor requires a conditional use permit from the Planning Commission. Next slide, please. And here are some photographs of the site. The primary entrance to the space is located on the east side of the building, facing the existing courtyard area, as you can see on the site plan where the arrow is pointing, and as well as I've included some photographs of the tenant space. And you enter from this covered area, and then you end up in here, which is that interior courtyard space that you see over here as well. The primary entrance doors are located over here. But there is another door in front of the space that faces the parking lot. As mentioned in the staff report, there is also a pedestrian access from South California, as you can see on this photograph. It leads to the courtyard adjacent to this tenant space, which allows those traveling by foot or other means easy accessibility to the space. Next slide, please. And here are the business operations for Two Left Feet, which will offer instructional dance lessons consisting of private and group lessons. There will be 2 full-time instructors, both of which are partners in this business, and the owner anticipates offering 3 to 6 classes per day, each lasting 1 to 2 hours. The business plan also indicates that most of the classes offered during the day are private dance lessons or either one-on-one instruction or no more than 4 students per instructor. The participants may book by appointment or walk-ins are welcome. The classes begin at 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, which is consistent with other existing dance studios and fitness studios in the downtown core area. And Friday and Saturday hours will be from 9 a.m. and will extend to 1 a.m. as the evening classes are intended to attract and serve people looking for entertainment or social activity in the core area. The evening classes are anticipated to be larger. The applicant has mentioned that their current location in Danville has very similar hours of operation. Next slide, please. And just to summarize, based on the business plan for Two Left Feet, the anticipated hours of operation, and the nature of the proposed use, as well as the location of this tenant space in this existing shopping center, is consistent with the surrounding retail uses, and it is a low impact use. Also, the change in use does not trigger additional parking, as the use does not increase the parking on site by 10% or more, and is consistent with other uses within this shopping center. Additionally, as mentioned by the applicant, the proposed use will not generate excessive traffic during peak hours, as it's anticipated to occur when businesses within the shopping center close or are already closed or ready to close. Again, as mentioned earlier, that most of the business that they anticipate to see, like more participants would be coming in the evening classes, and typically any office or retail tenant usually closes about 5 or 6 p.m. So after that is when they're anticipating more participation. Next slide, please. And with that, staff recommends that the commission move to adopt application number Y20-035, conditional use permit for Two Left Feet Dance Studio, subject to the conditions of approval. And for the record, both the staff report and the draft resolution stated that the project is located within the boundaries of the West Downtown specific plan. My apologies, that was a mistake, an oversight on my part. So I have amended the reso to reflect that the Palm Court Shopping Center is not located in the West Downtown specific plan, and I just wanted to clarify that. With that, I conclude my presentation and will be here for any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you very much for the staff presentation. Appreciate all that detailed information. Go ahead and ask if any of the planning commissioners have questions for staff at this time. Commissioner Anderson, go ahead.
Yeah, it seems like 6,000 square feet is a lot of space for at least a one-on-one lesson. Unless it's very energetic dancing, I suppose. But I was curious if they decided at some point that they were successful, had a lot of one-on-one classes and wanted to subdivide the space. Would that require a further permitting, or would that be allowed under this permit?
Well, firstly, it's not one-on-one. One-on-one classes, I think the applicant mentioned that during the day, earlier in the day, he anticipates one-on-one, more so at least from their previous business in Danville. That's what they experienced. So it's not one-on-one dance classes, it's also group dance classes. So it's both. And as far as, I guess it would require a tenant improvement, it would be a building permit if they needed to make the space smaller, or I guess create an additional space. Is there anything you would like to add, Ethan? But I think from our end, that's really all they would be doing. They would come in with building permits and create a barrier or a wall in between and show us that now this is two separate tenant spaces. And the only thing we would be looking for is any exterior change. And if there's signage, or also depends on what is going into that new space. Is it a permitted use? That's what planning would look for.
And I would just add to that, Simmer's correct. If there was a change in use such that we would be departing from the resolution and the conditions of approval, certainly that would be a means for returning to this commission for consideration. But if it's simply a subdivision to include different halves of or offerings from the same use, the same dance company, I would not anticipate anything more than a building permit being required.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that comment. We'll go ahead to Commissioner Ward.
Thank you. I just wanted to confirm that particularly for these very late night weekend events, that they are actually classes and not kind of having an unofficial nightclub that we're opening here at the dance studio, and that there's no food or alcohol being served. There was nothing in there. So I assume that's the case, but I wanted to confirm that.
Correct. I just didn't touch on that because that's not a part of this proposal. So yes, no alcohol or no food services as part of this project.
That's just classes until 1 a.m.
And their instructional dance lessons.
I'm teaching stamina there. I have to give them credit for that. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I guess since it's not that kind of event, there's no, I know we had these kind of old timey dance permits that are required for various restaurants that we've had, and that's also not required for this, I assume.
It is not. It doesn't apply to this project. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification, and we will look to any other planning commissioners. Any other questions? Okay, thank you for that. So we will go ahead and open at this time the public hearing portion and see if the applicant has a presentation or anything to add to your excellent presentation. Thank you.
Well, hello, and thank you for giving me a minute. I don't have much more of a presentation. I'd just like to thank you for the consideration and simply add that these are, this is a business that's been in operation for 27 years successfully in Danville. And as you can imagine, they have quite a loyal following that are future consumers and patrons of other downtown Walnut Creek businesses. So I think this is a great thing for Walnut Creek.
Okay, thank you very much for those comments. Assuming that those are the end of the applicant's comments, we'll go ahead and open the comments to the public. And we will ask our commission secretary, are there any comments from the public on this item on the agenda?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There has been no change in the attendee list, and those on the list have not made any indication by raising their hand or indicating through a phone dialing *9 that they wish to make a comment. And so I would gather there is no public comment on this item.
Okay, thank you very much. We will assume, since there are no public comments, that there's no need for the applicant to have any closing remarks or rebuttal. However, we'll just ask the applicant real quickly. Would you have anything else to say since you have a couple of moments?
I think Simmer did a great job. She's been great to work with throughout the process, and I feel like she's put a pretty thorough explanation of what's being proposed.
Okay, thank you for those closing remarks. We'll go ahead and move. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing section on this item. We'll go ahead and move back to the Planning Commission for comments, a motion, anything that anyone would like to say. Would any of the planning commissioners like to start?
I've got no particular comments, but I would like to offer a motion to approve use permit application Y 20035.
A second.
Okay, thank you very much for those comments. Anyone else before we go ahead and take a vote? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and ask the commission secretary to take a vote. Thank you.
Commissioner Pickett,
Yes.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Strongman,
Yes.
Commissioner Reiser,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Koselik,
Yes.
and Chair Lezak.
Yes.
The ayes have it 7-0. The motion is approved.
Okay, thank you, Commission Secretary. We appreciate that. We will go ahead and move on in our agenda then. And based on the agenda, that is the last of the public hearing items. We'll go ahead and move on to commission considerations. This portion of the agenda is for items that are not required to be publicly noticed, but for formal presentations, question and answer period, public input or discussion among the commissioners is helpful. Commission Secretary, are there any commission consideration items tonight?
There are none, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we're to the commission member and staff reports or announcements section. This is for staff and commissioners may provide brief oral reports or updates on activities as required by law, and will make announcements of general interest to the community. Commission Secretary, do you have any staff reports and or any other commissioners would you like to make a announcement? Please let us know. I see first Commissioner Strongman would like to make an announcement.
This next week, I'm going to Florida to take care of my son that's undergoing chemotherapy, so I will probably miss the next 2 commission meetings. Just want to let everybody know about that.
Well, we're sorry to hear that that's the circumstances for your missing our meetings, and hopefully things will work out for him. Thank you. And I have also seen that Commissioner Ward would like to make an announcement.
Yeah, so this morning I did the drive-through COVID testing at one of the at the San Ramon site that's sponsored by the Contra Costa County Health Department, and I just wanted to tell you that it was easy. The staff was amazing. You don't have to get out of your car, and they've even changed you do self-swabbing now with this prickly Q-tip thing, and it only goes like an inch up your nose. They're not trying to tickle your brain anymore, which is a huge relief. It did not hurt at all, not at all. It was not even uncomfortable. So for anybody who's been afraid of doing this, if you feel any need to do it, and I know that I've been really afraid to do it because I heard about all that brain tickling stuff, I really have to just give the highest regard to the county health staff that is out there in full PPE in hot weather in a parking lot with their tents doing the stuff. They're doing a fantastic job. It was, I signed up online. It was totally easy, and like I said, did not hurt. So don't be afraid. If you need it, go do it. Get your friends and family to do it, and just really recommend. So Thanks.
So when do you get results?
They said 3 to 5 days. I'm not an essential employer or health provider, so I'm not top of the priority list for that. One of my friends said she did it and took actually 6 days, but it's still pretty fast. And they'll do it by text, email. They'll call you if there's a problem. Just really professional, organized, fabulous. They were really great, and like I said, did not hurt. It was so easy. So
Thanks for the information.
don't be afraid. So,
Well, thank you for that. We hope you're well. We hope
Yeah.
hopefully this was not in response to some great sickness you have, and we look forward to seeing you next meeting, assuming everything goes well.
Yep.
So with that, Commission Secretary, are there any other commission reports from the staff?
Just one quick announcement. Our next meeting will be on July 9th after the holidays. So until I see you at that time, I hope you all have an enjoyable, safe, happy sheltering in place July 4th. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you very much. We wish you all the best of health. Thank you all for a very prosperous meeting, and we'll call meeting adjournment at 7:24 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Bye.
Nice job. Thanks, guys.